Did you miss your deadline to renew your Medicaid coverage? You can still send your completed annual review form to Healthy Connections Medicaid. You may be assigned to another health plan, but you can ask to come back to First Choice within 60 days of renewed Medicaid eligibility. It's your family. It's your choice. First Choice is the right choice. Renew and choose us. Visit selecthealthofsc.com/renew to learn more.
Wow, man. Here it is. Years in 2023. Finally, it's all going to be wrapped up, and soon had to get ready to run through it all again. But it's amazing to see how many people are actually taking the time to talk about like all the crazy stuff that happened this past year. And you know, for me, I don't think 2023 was all that crazy. I know it had its most ridiculous moments, but a lot of things came up pretty good in 2023, such as like Spider-Man 2. Yeah, I'm serious. Like, that game was awesome. And the fact that people are trying to throw shade on it because it didn't win any awards, I mean, I think that's really, really stupid. You know, at the end of the day, the gaming awards are nothing more than a shill's outlet for anything that deals with vanity, such as, like, games that did win, in contrast to games that even get nominated. But to hell with that. Let's just go ahead and get it started my way, because welcome to the J-Man Show here on
J360 Radio!
Are you struggling to conceive? You have options, and at Piedmont Reproductive Endocrinology Group, we'll make sure you have the guidance and support you need. PREG is known for individualized fertility care that's unique to every patient. We take the time to provide a reassuring and empowering experience because we believe that you deserve nothing less. Let us help you on your journey to parenthood. Visit us at pregonline.com to learn more. Get the guidance and support you need at Piedmont Reproductive Endocrinology Group.
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Hey, how's it going, J360 Legion? What is happening? Welcome to the J-Man Show for episode 320. I am your host, J-Man, of course, and yes, this is the 8th season still of the J-Man Show, and let me just tell you this, that started in 2023 now, didn't it? Among other things, like this show actually achieving 300 and so episodes. That happened this year, and not to mention like all sorts of other crazy achievements for all the J360 shows. And I'm like, wow. The fact that we just kept on trucking, and those of you that have been here since day one, you're still looking for newer episodes, and hey, I'm here to deliver. And let me tell you, I'm really excited that we are at the year's end again. And I'm also like this. We got here kind of fast too, because I'll be honest with you, it felt like Christmas wasn't gonna get here for a little bit, but then like boom, 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 it got here, and it was like, I'm glad that I was ready. Like I had all my presents set. I had like things that were ready to go for everybody. And then like I was like, wow, I'm glad that everything looked out pretty good, because for a while there, I was like, did I have enough here? Do I have enough here? Did I cover every base that I wanted to for the month? And let me just tell you this, I actually did. And it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad, let me tell you. But some of those deals that were happening this year were pretty damn addicting. Shoot, I thought I was like rich, man. I was like, boom, boom, boom. Nah, I want that. No, somebody else is going to get this present over here, but I'm definitely getting this new game right here. Which is why I had RoboCop, and I was sitting there playing that not too long ago. I mean, I'll tell you this, though. Like, lots of great games did come out this year. I don't know about, like, Modern Warfare 3. I mean, you guys can be the judge of that. Whereas for me, myself, I went ahead and I found a copy of the original Modern Warfare 3, and I haven't played that in years. I remember what I did to that. I actually took the time to trade that away to get Black Ops, I think. Yeah, a long time ago, because I was like, GameStop had a lot of those cool trade deals at one time, and, I didn't have to pay any money for Black Ops by trading in the older one. So, I took the luck of the draw and I went with it. But you see, this time, however, I was like, after seeing the new one and how bad it is, I was like, well, let me go back to the original Modern Warfare and get that set for, like, power plays and stuff. And, I was without Modern Warfare 3, and I was like, yeah, let me see if I can find a copy of it. And luckily I did, complete in box, and not to mention around $10. So I was like, yes! And no shipping, by the way, just $10 straight. I was like, fucking right. So I went ahead and got that, and I got the trilogy completed, and I still got my copy of Black Ops. Now I just need to go ahead and get Black Ops 2 and 3, and, we'll go ahead and complete the train on that. Of course, you're probably wondering, what about Black Ops 4? And it's like, well, what about it? There was no campaign, so... I mean, I could go ahead and create something where I'm fighting bots or something like that. I don't know how many of y'all are actually still playing the old school Call of Duties, but if you are, let me know so we can go ahead and do something. But, yeah, all in all, though, then again, I could always use, like, Modern Warfare 2019 and Modern Warfare 2, because they were not bad. You know what I mean? Like, they weren't bad. It's just that, when you're playing Call of Duty, you're just like, it's just Call of Duty. Not trying to hate on it, just saying, like, there are times where, like, it was great, but at what cost, And even, like, with Spider-Man 2, like, I'm sitting there, and when I played through it, guys, I was hooked. I was waiting for this game to come out. Like, amongst a lot of other Spider people out there that were sitting there like, yeah, it's about the time, this is gonna be great, yeah. And then when it came out, everybody talked about how good it was, and then they also talked about how bad Miles Morales' costume was at the end game of it. I was like, no kidding. My man's just switching back into his regular costume as soon as we got it over with, but the fact that you could not switch him out of that costume during that whole scenario, and he said, like, this is just the first Miles original. I was like, no, it's not. Your black and red costume is the first Miles original. You said that in your own game. But, if there's one thing that Spider-Man 2 is weak at, and let's just say the Insomniac Spider-Man 2, you know what I mean? Because movie Spider-Man 2 is still badass to this day. Hell yeah, Doc Ock and him fighting on that train, shit. You cannot get any closer to that. That was just really good. I would love to see, like, what a new Dr. Otto Octavius would be like against, like, Tom Holland's Spider-Man, but everybody's so set on, he's gonna die so Miles can take over, just like in the comics. It's like, let people enjoy things, alright? Like, I like Miles as much as I like Peter, and then the funny part is that people were getting all in an uproar because they were saying that, Insomniac was saying, Peter Parker out, Miles Morales is gonna be the Spider-Man on in. Yeah, maybe for, like, in between and stuff like that, because Peter has a chance to be happy, and then, like, when the story plays out in the final chapter with what Doc Ock's planning and stuff like that, Peter may have to come back. You never know. You see what I'm saying? Especially when they got to take on both of the O's, remember? Because him and Norman Osborn were a team, like, way, way before, like, this version of Spider-Man is taking place. And like I say, it is a pretty good series they got going on. So hopefully this is not the last, but I also didn't like it where some of Spider-Man's key villains were actually killed by Kraven. Yeah, I didn't care for that. But, it could be like the major weakness of this game would be the writing. And then a lot of people are acting like, oh, Mary Jane's finally stepping into her own. Mary Jane's finally becoming an action girl rather than a damsel in distress. Did you play the first game where she actually was doing a whole bunch of cool stuff and investigations and everything and wasn't a damsel in distress? And she wasn't even armed in that game until, like, later on in the DLC. So what the hell are you talking about? That's just as crazy, like, when people try to talk about, for the Super Mario Brothers movie, where Princess Peach is finally stepping into her own and becoming an action girl. It's like, she's always been an action girl. I mean, it's like right there. Like, yes, in the mainstream canon of the Mario games, Mario does have to go rescue her. But the thing about it is, there are moments where she usually is not in trouble, and she usually saves herself. And there's also a moment where she ended up saving both Mario and Luigi, and it was called Super Princess Peach. But nobody remembers that game. It is the weirdest thing to me. You know what I mean? It's like, this stuff has been debunked. Yet at the same time, people are just either too clueless or too stupid, or at the end of the day, they want to keep that narrative alive about, like, women are now taking care of themselves. Oh, wow, they waited until 2023 to now take care of themselves? Are you fucking stupid? They've been taking care of themselves for years. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, at the end of the day, when people keep going on and on about that stuff, and then they talk down about childbirth, I mean, like, yeah, I can go into this. They talk down about that stuff, and I'm like, well, how the hell are you here then? You know what I'm saying? Like I say, some of this stuff where people go about these things, I mean, some of y'all probably don't even have moms, let's just be honest. Some of y'all probably come out of, like, test tubes and all this other stuff, or you birthed yourself or some weird-ass thing. I don't know, and I don't care, but I know where I came from, and I know the woman that raised me, and let me just tell you this. Yeah, she's strong as fuck, but that's where I got it from. In addition to dealing with my dad, but some of y'all don't even believe, like, the power of a two-parent household sometimes. That's just weird. People are crazy. And the narratives that come out of people's mouths every day have gotten worse. I will tell you, that shit needs to go. For, like, 2024 going on in, I would hope that terrible narratives and awful ideologues and really shitty takes would go away, because you see, here's the thing, no matter what side of the fence you try to do, no matter what transitions you try to do, no matter how many times you mutilate yourself to win the approval of strangers, let me tell you, men and women, citizens on this planet, need each other. It's a system. Everybody has to work together, no matter what the hell somebody out here is saying to you or whatnot. You know, like when I said, like, I don't need people's help to do these shows. No, not entirely. Not to put the shows on. But at the end of the day, like, when people contribute their tracks to jams, that's pretty awesome. And then the rest is all up to me. And I already know what to do with that. Or, like, you know, at the same time, like, people who actually like the shows, share the shows, listen to a few things, or they're always, like, they agree or they disagree, or they call in and say something, or, like, you know, or they give me an email message about things, which, by the way, I don't mind if you email message. The idea is that, guess what? It's communicating with the public out there, and there's really nothing wrong with that. It's just this. If you don't know what the hell you're talking about, mind your damn business. If you don't know how this stuff works, after I done explained it, maybe you need to chill the hell out, because I'm not going to explain it a second time. I got things to do. That's the whole point. You see what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, it's like this. When somebody knows what the hell they're doing, it's okay to hear out what some people have to say. But when you know that it's nothing but gobbledygook and garbage coming out, of course you can just throw it right back at them. That's the thing. And dang, Mountain Dew is so good. Yeah, I usually don't drink on the mic, man. But like I say, you know that part where, like, your Mountain Dew's been chilled for, like, quite some time, like the whole day, and you have it out here in front of you, and it has, like, that whole thing where, like, the condensation's so right, and, like, it drips down and it just invites you in. Hell yeah. Oh yeah, I'm going into 2024 drinking a Mountain Dew and giving no fucks. That's the beautiful way of life. Even though I'm not getting paid for that advertisement. Darn it. But the truth is that, like, I'm happy that I'm here to do J360 Productions. I'm happy that I'm here to continue on the journey, because I have a lot of things I want to get done. I have a lot of places that I would like to go to and move on, as well as, like, you know, looked at the past a little bit and letting go a lot of things as well, you know. And that's really a good thing, but I cannot let go of the idea of that ideologues and all that stuff. That shit needs to go. It hasn't done me any favors. I don't think it has done anybody else any favor to make people look like assholes. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's why I went on that little tidbit right there. But yeah, that needs to go. And the truth is that you think about it sometimes, a lot of us talk about how we should enjoy each other's company, but at the end of the day, we really don't, do we? Like, we're always trying to one-up one another. We're always trying to sit here and, you know, redirect others and stuff like that. Like, I told Al the other day, I said, look, man, whereas I know I'm going to keep on doing what I do, how are you feeling about things? And it's not even about, like, how my feelings are about this stuff, because I already made my decisions, but I always look at him like, what do you see yourself doing? Do you see yourself still continuing on? Do you see yourself? And that's not even, like, saying, like, being patronizing and saying, oh, you know, if you don't like it, you just quit, man. You're just a punk. You're not anything good for this company. You suck. Get out. Nah. What it is just making sure, like, you know, Everything is on, everything is all together. Me and him understand each other in addition to like other people on the team, stuff like that. Do you feel good about where things are going? Do you have like ideas or outside work that you want to do? Like there's a whole lot about that. And it's really, really good to think about because, everybody has goals and dreams. I'm sure a lot of you guys out there have your goals and dreams. I mean, if you can't submit to jams on that time, I always leave it open for anybody who wants to submit to jams. All you got to do is email me. And the truth is that when I gave you guys the submission rules, those are the instructions for jams and jams TV. And then like it surprises me when people ask me also like, how do I send you the tracks? And I know some people are just different. All right. Well, the truth is, like, WeTransfer and Google Drive and all of these cloud services that take, like, huge files and send them to your clients and stuff like that. If you're working with clients, technically I'm a client. But if you're working with me and I got to send you some of the dailies and the features that I've been working with and stuff, or, like, any of my reels, I would have them in a cloud folder and then I would send them over. Do you see what I'm saying? And there are people out there who I guess they never used them before, so it's time to be a little bit lenient and give them a chance to be like, look, that's how you do it. All right? So, like I said, I can forgive that, but I would like to say that I did cover that in the submissions rules. So it's just little things like that. And then at the end of the day, it's like, you know what you're competing with and stuff like that. And a lot of people try to tell you that, collaboration begins at the top. Collaboration begins whenever you would like collaboration to begin. But if you are going to collab and if you are going to do these things, you need to honor the deals. And I've met a lot of people who have big subscribers, who have like a lot of clout and cred and all that stuff. And let me just tell you this, they don't serve that clout and cred like anything. And also I know that most people pay for like subscribers and bots and stuff, which is why sometimes I really don't care for Instagram and how they do things. And I believe like this whole new thing that algorithms are doing on social media, even though social media has been lame for quite some time, but the algorithms around here, they need to be recoded. And they need to work with the ones that are trying to grow, because a lot of businesses are going out of business right now. You know what I'm saying? Because social media is not serving them like they should. And then there are times where they're more in the red because they overpay more so than they have like their money cycling. I always look at the ROI all the time. If you're in business and you're not looking at your ROIs and like what you're getting in return on all this stuff, in terms of like people working with you or in terms of like how things are growing, it's going to be time to kill a project. And then after a while, because if you keep this going on, it'll ruin your business. And I'm looking over at Instagram all the time like, do I need to go through this nonsense again? You see what I'm saying? Like, I remember like years prior to this, like even with 2023, things have been really, really annoying with social media. And I'm not talking just like when people that are actually talking back. I'm talking like in terms of almost everything's behind a paywall. I mean, I understand get the bag. But when's the time when you actually talk on it? When's the time where you actually collaborate and stuff like that? And then, the money you can always get. It usually comes later. And then usually it's in the back of my mind anyway if I'm doing, like, steady business. But you got people that have, like, just regular, no content creating no content creating pages, like just regular profiles, and at the end of the day, they're going behind paywalls, and they're also going behind like broadcast channels. Like everybody has a broadcast channel. Somebody invited me to a broadcast channel for like Disneyland disputes, and I was like, why the hell do I have this? I don't live in California yet. Why the hell would I have this? You see what I'm saying? And even then, I'm not going to be voicing my disputes out there with everybody else. I'm going to be voicing my disputes with the actual company by sending them mail or by giving them a call or something like that. I'm not going through social media like an asshole. You know what I mean? There's other ways to communicate about stuff like that. Oh, and another thing, like, what's really weird to me, see, some of y'all do this crap too. Oh, I can't handle the emails. I would prefer social media. Oh, well, I ain't got to work with you ever again. There you go. See, I got to play that role because here's the thing. When I ask you for, like, your email on social media, that is the most important thing because it won't take long for any of these networks to either make them more rigid and inoperable, or find a way to go ahead and make sure, like, I don't see you again if you're not putting content up, or like any of this other stuff where I'm trying to build this network. This network is priceless. Instagram and Facebook could go the way of MySpace, believe it or not. But the people that I met, if they're really worth something, if they're really amazing, quite a lot of you are. Like, when I point out, like, and say what y'all do, I'm talking society. I'm not talking, like, those of you that actually worked with me. It can come and go at any time. That's why I always ask you for your email. That's why I always ask you, like, all right, well, let's get in contact about stuff. Let's really be about this. And in some cases, I gave you guys the hotline number, or I gave you my number. And which is funny to me, because, like, there are people that freak out about that. Oh, he gave me his numbers. Who would have thought that me giving you my number so that you can have exclusive access to talk to me would scare the hell out of you? What the hell are you scared of? What did you not bury the body or something like that? Is that what's going on? What happened? Are you really bad at this? Are you doing true crime over there or some shit? Because, see, here's the thing. For those of you ladies out there, if I was interested and wanted to date you, there's no law telling me that I couldn't. Especially if you're around age 25, which I don't go below age 25. You know what I'm saying? There's, like, and those of you that are female musicians, unless you're married or something like that, that's to be the only time you worry about me hitting on you. And the truth is that most of the time I'm usually about the music first. And if I like your company, and if you like my company, I don't see what the hell the issue is. And at the end of the day, most of y'all that are having problems in relationships, I've noticed this. Either you're listening to one of them shitty-ass podcasts out there, or you're listening to one of those podcasts ran by a bunch of out-of-touch celebrities who will never find happiness because they're idiots. What do you think about it? What do you want with this whole thing? Because one way or another, I can always come and go. I got my own company and stuff like that, and I'm always working on scale and growth all the time, but in the addition of my personal life, you know, that should mean something. The personal life ain't even hurting either, man. This is just choices. See what I'm saying? But I love seeing when women freak out about that stuff, because it could be absolutely nothing. You see what I'm saying? But then you got people that'll say, oh, he's a creep because of that. I'm not a creep. I was never a creep. I'm a guy doing his job, trying to make some sense out of society around here. And at the end of the damn day, I don't have a problem telling you the reason why you suck. Because at that point, I'm not really being your friend. I'm not going to be a sycophant and your enabler and tell you things that you like to hear, and that, hey, you're doing a great job. The cred's looking good. People are behind you every step of the way. No. You don't get that here. I don't care if you won a Grammy. I don't care if you won an award. I don't care if you won a Webby, which, by the way, remember what I said about award shows earlier? Because I'll tell you this, like, a long time ago, I was going to take J360 Jams, and I was going to put it in nomination for a Webby. I had the campaign money and all that stuff. Can you tell me why? Okay, so after the entry for it was about $400 at the time. Now it's up there to $600. But I also had to have another campaign in there, or money to them, for $500 for it to really be considered. And this is when I knew it was becoming kind of like flushing money down a hole, you know what I'm saying? Rather than me actually winning an award. Whereas you do have to compete and you do have to pay to play. The thing about it is they did not need to throw like an extra surcharge to me like that. And while we're on the subject, I looked at this and I said, you know what, the hell with that, I want my money back. And I ended up getting my money back because I was at the right time. But let me just tell you this. That's when I knew it's just a friggin' joke. This show could have won a Webby. This show could have had so many opportunities for it. And it's going to have more opportunities for it. But I do also know, if it gets to the point where it overestimates the cost of the program, something is wrong. Do you see what I'm saying? Like I said, this show was growing, and it still is growing, and it's going places. And there was moments where, like, you know, even 100 looked like the sweet spot to just go ahead and say, whatever. You know what I mean? But I do know this much. I love doing the program. I'm going to keep carrying it on. I know that it was doing very well on Good Pods, in addition to, like, you know, the J-Man show itself and all. And not to mention, like, certain things on Spreaker are actually coming my way since I stayed on it. So, you know, like, at the end of the day, it might seem like things are not going where they are, but they are. And then there's that time where, I looked at like the new transitions regarding things in my day job, and I'm like, I don't really feel it, but I also know this. I never say die. I got to play the game. And you know what? Playing the game is going to do very well for me because, see, here's the thing. A lot of y'all are like, man, it's January. I got to hurry up and do this. I got to hurry up and do that. Now, if you have to hurry and do these things, I don't think it's exactly as much fun for you as anticipated. You got to slow down. You got to look at this stuff, and you got to play the long game. You got to really pay attention to stuff. I'm letting you guys know this stuff for free because, you see, there are people out here, once again, who are great content creators. But they want you to pay like well over $300 or so for a course of stuff that you already should know. That's just as bad as those of you guys pretty much using and quoting the subtle art of not giving a fuck. Did you really need to know that stuff? I mean, like, think about it. No, you don't need to give a damn what others think. Maybe you need to try a little bit or practice 80-20. I mean, it is what it is. But whatever the case may be, not giving a damn about this society because they're fickle and they're always wanting stuff. And at the end of the day, the best thing you can do is go to market, pay attention to what you have, and run with it, and just be true to yourself about everything. You do not need a $20 book for that. You don't need to pay like a $300 or $400 course for that. I can understand if you went on like Stage 32 and you paid for like one of their courses on how to distribute, how to work with VODs, how to like start a Roku channel, things like that. Like, I don't have a problem with that. But what I do have a problem with is on the bare minimum of things, and everybody's trying to tell you how you're doing it wrong. No, you're doing it like somebody else. You see what I'm saying? Do your thing. I always say do your thing. I remember one time having a protege at one time, and the truth is, he wasn't exactly a good protege because he went out there and did the damnedest reason of why I even do my own stuff. You know what I mean? Anytime you're paying for like a 24-hour blah, blah, blah kind of thing on YouTube and stuff, everybody does that crap. I mean, it don't take much for that. And the truth is, like, when I see that stuff, guys, I always like look and say, damn. Well, it's amazing because iHeartRadio was killing radio for the longest damn time, and then those people out there with all this ambition and all this greatness in the world went out there and recreated the shit. That's how sad it is. And who am I to judge that stuff, right? Who am I to gatekeep about it? Somebody actually does this crap without even thinking about trying to do automated messages and 24-hour blah, 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 blah. No, I'd rather go ahead and communicate with people. I'd rather go ahead and push this stuff out of here. The least you could do is be friggin' supportive about the thing and understand exactly that, hey, guess what? The dude's not here to waste time. He's really putting out his productions, and he really does believe in what we do. That's why he's working with us. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to explain this crap in another episode. This is about done. I got other stuff to do. Matter of fact, I was just working on like a few other original programmings that you guys are going to be going to love it. I'm just saying. You haven't seen it yet, but you're going to love it. And then not to mention a few PowerPlay upgrades I got to go ahead and work with. Because I already mentioned like Modern Warfare Trilogy, but that's not the next game that's on the listing because we're about to wrap up Killzone. I don't know if we'll wrap it up tomorrow, but we're getting close to it. But yeah, guys, I mean, like, I see all this stuff, and not only that, the case for cringe humor. Well, you know, humor's subjective, and what may be funny to one person may not be funny to another person, and I gotta say, with the way that we are all equal in cringe, yeah, that's not going anywhere. Make room for that in a lot of 2024. And not to mention it's an electoral year too. Yeah, I can't wait to see how much cringe comes into play regarding that. Yeah, we're not out of the shit regarding that either. It's just damn sham. But, you know, like I said, though, this isn't always about browbeating. This isn't always about saying why society is stupid. It's just society's gone mad for a lot of things because I think in the end it thinks that, you know, it's a collective of people, and there are people out there that are screaming around trying to get noticed, get their attention, get their voices out there, whatever it be. Like, if it ain't the clout, it's the cred, and if it ain't the cred, it's the clout, and if it ain't any of those, it's the money, and if it ain't the money, it's usually something like really, really superficial. And that's kind of the way it just ruins a lot of things. It ruins connections between creators and their customers. It ruins things such as like clientele that should be paying top dollar for stuff instead of finding a way to cheapen out because, human nature comes into play and all these other things. And then, like sometimes you just really can't trust people. Can't trust everybody, can't love everybody. And that's a damn shame. No matter how hard you tried. And then that Green Goblin speech from Spider-Man 1, which, by the way, see how things come full circle on the show? Comes back into play in spite of everything that you've done for them. They will hate you. And that is a damn shame. That really is. I mean, I got people out there who don't even know what I go through. And I don't expect them to. But at the end of the day, they got to feel this way and they got to be, like, on the opposition about things. Not trying to say, like, at the end of the day, like, I haven't been abrasive. I've been honest about stuff. And I always will be. Because at the end of the day, if you're not going to know, how are you going to fix things? You see? And that's the thing about, like, doing this show for, like, 8 years and then running this whole program for about 18 years. It's just, you look at yourself on things and you wonder, like, where that steady growth is and where all this stuff is still going to be. Like, are you still monetized? Are they going to work with you? Is everybody noticing what you're doing? And, like, have to do a little bit of different things from here on out regarding, like, the social media and the small scales and all that kind of stuff. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just you got to ride it out. And then you got to do things a little bit differently because for some reason there are people out there who are afraid of competition. I'm not. I welcome it. I just look at it like this. Be real about it. I remember there were a lot of people that were coming up to me. I mean, I remember somebody trying to get me to syndicate their show, and I was like, I don't want to syndicate your show. I have my own show. You see what I'm saying? Like, when you come at me about things, come correctly, really say what's on your mind, be about it. But if not, leave it be. All right? Little things like that. Plus, you guys do remember that there isn't a J360 Jams episode this week, right? That's next week. We're going to rock in the new year with it, baby. And, you can still send me tracks. 2 tracks, by the way. Email them to j360jams@gmail.com. And the reason for j360jams@gmail.com is, for a while there, like, there was one email and it was working, but then all of a sudden I started missing people's tracks. And I come find out that it was the spam box that was over there eating and getting rid of things. And I was like, oh my God. It wouldn't help to send me a bill. Oh yeah, it'll send me a bill. But then there comes the point where, like, when it comes to your tracks, it kept eating it and deleting it. And I was like, nope, this will not do. So I went ahead and I created j360jams@gmail.com. So you guys just go ahead and send me your stuff from there. We will work with this. We will make this happen. It has to be 2, so you got to have 2 tracks to come and play with it. You know what I mean? And even then, like, the due date will be next Thursday instead of this Thursday. So, those that are interested or those that know that there are people out there that need some airtime and stuff, let's work this out. Because I know, guys, sometimes I get real stubborn about things and get real snippy, but the truth is that, look, it's for to make you better, and it's for, like, me to really pay attention to what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's all about game knows game, class knows class. If you didn't even label your track, I don't even want to see it. If it doesn't even have your name on it, it's like, ooh, who the hell is this? Get in the habit of mastering, use the ID 3 tags and all that stuff. Like, really be about your craft. And I have... Oh, God, I could tell you guys a story. Well, let me tell you another one. I had one where this guy was sitting right here, and he was saying that, I'm not about the scene. My life is not completely about the scene. And I was like, okay, what the hell are you talking about? And what happened was, see, whenever I do these shows, I send out links. And, like, when I was sending the links out, because this is a series, for one, so every episode is new. If you're getting a link from me, this is a new episode coming through. And, like, I have other ways of sending them, but I prefer to do this, like being a door-to-door salesman. And then I had this moron come over here and give me his lament. Like, he's not about the music scene. Why are you sending me these links when that doesn't make any sense? Actually, it makes perfect sense, jackass. It's not always a new one. It's stuff that I work with, like shows that I do on the weekly and then shows that I do bi-weekly. The one thing you could do, you could either be about it or you could not be about it. And then, like, he's over there, he's like, you already know I like your stuff. I was like, oh, will you shut the fuck up? And then I ripped him a new one and told him exactly why I run my business and stuff. You might not be about the music scene. Some of you might not be about the movie scene. And that's your damn business. But let me just tell you this. I'm about everything I do. And I am about music. And I am about movies. And I am about, like, producing my own content, which is one of the many ways I get paid. So, yeah, you know, here's the thing. I'm going to go ahead and share my show. Screw you. Okay? If you get in the way of my whole thing about that, the whole point is you're in the way of business. No personal feelings aside, you're in the way of business. And what you should do is be like, well, you know, I like the shows and everything, but, you know, I would prefer another way of delivery or something like that. Use a little diplomacy, because here's the thing. I ain't nobody's son, which means I can really just come up in there and kick your ass. And I'm just doing the only thing. I'm not here to see your crusty ass. I'm here to go ahead and share my show. And then I'll ask if you're a musician about if you wanted to be on jams, you know, because there's a new jams coming. And I can't rely on social media because the algorithm loves to hide stuff. I can only imagine what poor soul out there is trying to get more and more of their narrative out there, and they cannot because of some lame-ass reason why that Instagram comes up with, a.k.a. Facebook, a.k.a. Zuckerberg, a.k.a. all that stuff. And it's a damn shame because here's the thing. They don't need any money. You know? Like, even then, I look at that Facebook page and I'm like, oh my God, this is really annoying as hell. Though I had more people on it, it's just like, I'm not a fan of how this man runs his business. And I'll tell you that ahead of time. You know? But you do what you can so that you can work with people out there who may like what you do. And the truth is that I'm not asking people to like me. I mean, you would already know when you heard me yell the J-Man show out. Or jams, or any of that stuff. Or when I put up the schedule. That's your decision. It's none of my business. You know what I mean? So now that we all know exactly what roles we play into this stuff, and when you realize that, like, you know, where we could go to at this point and stuff, yeah, I'm ready for 2024. 2023 was a lot of lessons like any of the other years were, but at the end of the day, you know, just got to keep moving on because there ain't no way we can go back. And, you know, multiverses are fucking lame nowadays. Yeah, you know they are. Don't even try it. All of you know that. I know some of y'all probably be like, that's not true, you know, that latest Marvel movie, The Marvels, it was friggin' lame, and you know it. Matter of fact, South Park just really opened the lid on all that stuff. They opened the lid on some more things about internet cred and crap like that, too. It's a damn shame how we are in a society, but let me just tell you this, though. I'm going to go ahead and try to believe in the good of the world, but at the same time, not going to be blinded by it. It's going to be one hell of a ride, I'll tell you. But all in all, though, guys, thank you for joining in. Thank you for hanging out with me, and you know, we have more episodes to come. Oh, speaking of hangouts, for those of you that want to be on that show sometime, you just stand by. I'll give you an invite to it. We're still working that whole thing out, but like I said, a lot of great conversations go on in that program. So you just got to stay tuned to see what's next. But all in all, though, let me get on out of here. The PowerPlay is tomorrow at 7. And then, of course, you know, the year-end mixtape is happening on Saturday at 9. So, yep, more to come. But you guys take care of yourselves. This is J-Man signing off. Peace.
With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.